What is up, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everybody that's tuning in to this video, guys? As you've been with me this long, we are breaking down the pithy sayings, the hidden message in Proverbs, right? We're trying to get the wisdom. We want the understanding. We want instructions. We want to be successful in life, not just for our own benefits, but for other people as well on this earth, because we want to be able to do what God has called us to do on this earth, right? And today, guys, we're on Proverbs chapter 1, verse 9, and it says, for they shall be an ornament of grace onto thy head and chains about thy neck. Just like everything else, we got to get context. So we got to read pretext and we got to get the context. So the previous verse, it talked about, my son, hear the instruction of thy father and forsake not the laws of thy mother. And for thy shall be an ornament of grace onto thy head and chains about thy neck. See, a young man can be like a prince and a king if he listen to the instruction of his parents and obey the instruction of his parents, right? See, this is not going to literally happen. You're not going to get the gold around your neck, the chain around your neck, the crown on top of your head. No, but this is just a metaphor that you can be just like a prince, right? Because you're going to get recognized about your good wisdom, your understanding, how respectful you are as well. See, but in order to get that, us younger men or younger people younger than me, I'm 29, in order to get that, you must not just listen to the instructions of your parents, because that's easy. Anybody could do that. I can tell you right now how to change your tire, and you're like, okay, I got that. And if you don't apply these rules and these instructions, it was just a waste. You got the information, you got the understanding, but now it's time to apply these to your life. And we know the benefit of doing this because this is going to help us, right? See, it's important for us to listen to the words of our parents, our mom and our dad. That's going to teach us. It's going to help us to be successful because, like I said before in the previous video, that God didn't ask you any question like, hey, do you want to pick your parents? No, he ordained your parents. He picked your parents for you without your permission. He set this up from the beginning of the time. And you might say, hey, my parents are not the best. They got a lot of faults. They got a lot of mistakes that are going on. But at the end of the day, they still been on this earth longer than you. They still got wisdom. They still got understanding. They got knowledge. They knew things that before you knew it, before you were even thinking about, sex, they already been sleeping together way longer before you can even imagine. They were doing things that kept them in trouble or got them out of trouble. They did some things that helped them in life, or maybe even, probably made their life a little bit more rough and difficult, but they've been through some things. And that's why it's so important to get the knowledge and information from your parents. So this is very powerful. So Solomon's really, he's instructing that us young men, right, is to get that wisdom from our parents, because that's the first teacher that you're going to run across. Of course, ultimately, God's going to be your ultimate teacher, your counselor, your guider. But the first person you're going to see when you're born on this earth, who's the first one you see? It's going to be your parents. Yes, your siblings and stuff like that as well. But your parents are the ones that got to instruct you, right? Your parents are got to be the one to give you the godly wisdom, right? And in that case, if you do have a household where they don't have godly wisdom, they don't have instruction, right? And that's when teachers and pastors and other people, mentors, come involved in your life as well, because now they're going to help guide you and teach you. But just this symbolic message of a crown on top of your head and chains around your neck, it's going to be a good thing in your life. I remember being as a kid, when you go with your parents, I was probably like maybe 10, 12. I can't really remember, but I remember hearing that a lot, right? Oh, your son, he's so respectable. He is so kind. He's helping. I'm holding the door for people, because that's why I remember what my parent taught me. You see somebody coming, you don't just keep walking and leave the door. Like, no, you hold the door for the next person, right? Even if somebody don't say nothing, thank you. They don't say thank you back or whatever. You just keep on going. You don't get mad. You don't get upset, because that's what my parent taught me, right? So when you listen to your parents, they're going to be the first one, whether they knew about this or they don't know about this, but they're going to teach you what they know. They're going to teach you as best as they can. Yes, my parents didn't teach me everything from start from finish. I had to learn a lot of that by myself, but I had a general idea of their version of my dad. He teach me how to be, have good work ethics. He taught me how to get things done. Not everything, it's all about a job, right? So my dad, he was a maintenance man at the apartment building we lived at for many years. And my dad, he never really clocked in. He mostly did his own work. He did like side work. He did all these different things. And that's where I get that at as today. Right now I'm running a detailing business. I love to do different side work, right? Whether that's video editing, whether that's editing flyers for people and stuff like that, and reselling things. Those are things that I always gravitate towards. But I realized back in my past that I learned a lot of that from my dad, right? See, that's the instruction, the wisdom that I got from him that I'm applying to my life to help me be successful. The same thing for my mom, being a kind person, helping other people in need. I seen what she did. She helped the homeless. She did different things. She was always big on giving, and that still gravitated me towards me today. And guys, that's pretty much the end of this video. I don't want to keep on rambling on about this, but just the instructions from your parents. Your parents got to do two things. They must first teach you the wisdom and help you apply God's wisdom into your life. Once you got those two things, you are locked in. There is nothing that can touch you. There is nothing that can stop you because you are walking on God's law. It's going to protect you. It's going to preserve you. It's going to help you be successful and ultimately give him the glory and help other people come closer to God on this earth. And guys, that's pretty much the end of this video. I hope all you guys are blessed. I'll see you guys next time. All you guys be blessed.